Alright, so I'm Sage. This is my audience. Ian, Nathan, Christopher, Jasmine, and my mom, Kathleen. And I am here to give my informative speech. So I would like to start with a question. How many of you own a cell phone or a GPS, an iPod, a tablet, a Kindle, one of those fancy fridges where you press the button and it'll make ice, or you've even worked with a traffic light or a calculator? Because, and if you can say yes to any of those things, you've interacted with the computer. Thus, I think it's worth talking about exactly what a computer is, and how the computer came to be, because many people need to be more aware of exactly what they carry around in their pockets, what its implications are, how it came. And so, I'm Sage. I'm a computer science student at Portland State University who's been toying with computers, pulling them apart for funsies since I was about 12 years old, and I currently work for IT in the engineering building. So, I'd like to answer these in a series of questions. First, what is a computer? Second, who came up with the idea of a computer? And third, how am I, or how are you, affected by computers? And so I'm probably not the only one who thinks that questions tend to be pointless without answers. So, what is a computer? Physically, a computer is a tiny little chip that processes numbers and feeds electric pulses throughout a device it's connected to. And that's all it is. The computer is not the entire device, it's simply the thought. And ideologically, a computer is made just to process numbers, and with different numbers, it'll feed out different commands. It's a fancier abacus. In practice, a computer has evolved into a versatile tool that interprets code the programmers give it and can make visual displays, run machinery, send audio, and countless other things you've doubtless experienced. So who in the world had the idea to make these things? Well, a computer is just a machine that crunches numbers. For many ages, a computer was a person who sat at a desk and wrote furiously from when the sun rose to the sun set and hoped they didn't make mistakes. And eventually we had the aforementioned abacus. But the first machine resembling what most people would perceive as the modern computer was made by Charles Babbage in the 1830s. According to computerhistory.org, the first mechanical computer was the analytical engine by Charles Babbage. He made it on a mission given to him by Napoleon to convert from the imperial units of measurement that were being used at the time to the metric units we see in most of the world today. And although the fruits of this weren't seen in his own lifetime, it led to the eventual founding of mechanical computers where gears would spin and it would be programmed with punch cards, to electromechanical computers which were fed by electronic pulses, which were also programmed with punch cards, and eventually to the little chips I was talking about earlier that we've made computers into today. In modern times, the Silicon Valley is the home of most of the computing industry. In the Silicon Valley, you can find most of the large producers like Microsoft, IBM, NVIDIA, Cisco, Apple, Hewlett-Packard, and many others. And so some of you might be wondering, okay, so this Babbage guy made a really fancy calculator. Why do I care? Well, databases, airline travel, video games, medical equipment, car engines, traffic lights, GPSs, cash registers, and military personnel operations are almost all run by computers. There are many theories that have arisen due to our access to computers. Journalist McRae from dailymail.co.uk analyzed a recent study at Oxford University that showed that our access to computers, and by proxy the internet, combined with increasing speed of the internet, has shortened the human attention span. It showed that we process information and it just falls straight out of our heads. Then there's also this theory called time-space compression. So computers are perceptively changing the way we view space. There's this theory called time-space compression, which is that as our ability to move grows, as our ability to talk to each other, communicate grows, the space we are in becomes smaller because we consume more of it. And what do computers do? They make us think faster, they make us process faster, accept information faster, and travel more efficiently and more quickly. They help us make these plans and make decisions. And so hopefully by now, you can understand that these things are pretty damned important. But these mechanical supercalculators are just that. They are supercalculators. And all Charles Babbage did was inspire the idea that led to the foundation of electrical computers. But these machines have made the world a much more connected place as it's worked its way into our trafficking, our prison monitoring, our military, and, well, our pockets. So hopefully you can agree with me that it's a boon to know exactly what we carry with us, what its implications are, and how those came. Because those cell phones, those digital toasters, those mundane devices you see everywhere, most of them are run by computers today. Thank you.
Yay!